Hello everyone, welcome to the Star Wars Vault. If you are new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe to see new Star Wars videos every week.
What's going on, my friends? Today we are going to get into everything that's happened in Season 2 up to the 7th episode, and then tomorrow I will give my reaction to the season finale. This season so far has been everything and more for a plethora of fans. It's an incredible job the Lucasfilm is doing with The Mandalorian, as well as Star Wars as a whole. So starting with Chapter 9, The Marshal, we are back to seeing Din Djarin protecting the child. He goes to look for information on finding another Mandalorian who can help him locate the Jedi. He slays a whole group of attackers until he gets the answer on where to go, and it just happens to be Tatooine. And we see Mando reunite with Peli Motto back from Season 1, and he asks her where Mos Pelgo is. She shows him where, although it appears to be destroyed from what the map's view shows, and he takes a speeder bike to this town to kind of just investigate what's going on here, and he happens to just meet Cobb Vanth, the Marshal, who is wearing Boba Fett's iconic armor. The two almost come to a standoff when Vanth refuses to give him his armor, but then they're immediately attentive to the gigantic crate dragon that passes by their village. And the Marshal then reaches a deal with Mando to give back the armor if Mando can help kill the dragon. The two then work to bring together the town, as well as the Sand People, on a unified effort to kill the dragon. And, this is an all-time great episode for action sequences and storytelling. We get to see Boba Fett's armor used for the first time, even if it's not by Boba. And it's also cool to see the Sand People more humanized and working for a greater good. Din is able to pull it off by detonating a bomb inside the dragon's core to ensure everyone's safety. At the end, we see Cobb Vanth exchange the armor and bid farewell as the Mandalorian heads off. And then, of course, we see Boba Fett, played by Tamora Morrison, watching in the distance. Absolutely epic. And now we head into Chapter 10, The Passenger. The Mandalorian speeder bike is destroyed when bandits blindside him and the child. He quickly outsmarts and dispatches them as he heads back to Peli Motto and Mos Eisley. Mando is still on a search for other Mandalorians, is now tasked with transporting a passenger known as the Frog Lady to deliver her eggs to her husband on a moon called Trask, who has information on the Mandalorians. They are stopped by New Republic patrol, and they're kind of just forced to flee to a planet nearby called Maldo Crace, where they hide the Razor Crest in an ice canyon. All the while on this journey, the child is secretly eating some of the Frog Lady's eggs, and, you can tell Din's not happy with him doing all this. And meanwhile, the ice cannon eventually just crashes down. The ship is just unable to move. And so the Frog Lady walks off to find a warm environment to save her eggs, while Mando tries to repair his ship. And when him and the child go to find the Frog Lady, they all quickly start to run back to the ship when thousands of eggs started to hatch, spider-like creatures chasing the crew. They are able to fend them off just in time for the New Republic to come in and assist. They tell Mando that he has several warrants out for him, but they're willing to let him go since he is in fact protecting the child. The end of this episode shows the Razor Crest being repaired just enough to cautiously coast to their destination. And now we lead into Chapter 11, The Heiress. Mando is able to safely deliver the Frog Lady and her eggs to her husband, who informs him of an inn where Mandalorians have been spotted. A captain of crew offers to take Mando by water passage, and he accepts. Near the reach of their destination, the captain shows Mando a mammacore they are transporting and immediately push the child in, forcing Din to jump in and save him. And the crew talks about how they're just, they're trying to kill him so they can take his Beskar armor. That is until a small force of Mandalorians come to rescue and help kill the entire crew. Din thanks the Mandalorians for saving the child, and we then see Bo-Katan take off her helmet as we witness her first live-action appearance. It's incredible to see, especially if you're a Clone Wars fan. And Din is reluctant to talk to them, since he believes only true Mandalorians never take their helmet off. Shortly after, the group comes to Din's aid once again, when more of the captain's allies come for revenge, only to be torn apart by the Mandos. It's pretty cool to just continuously see that. Bo offers Din a lead to the Jedi if he helps in their mission to raid an Imperial cargo ship for weapons. He does agree, and we get to see some of the best TV series live action we've seen yet from Star Wars, as these Mandalorians methodically just decimate all of these stormtroopers on this ship. Bo restructures the deal to take the whole ship, and we see the captain calling Moff Gideon for help. When Gideon realizes the ship is too late to save, he tells the captain to essentially crash the ship, iterating, "Long live the Empire." Our Mando group arrives with time to spare as Bo asks the captain if Moff Gideon has the dark saber. The captain kills himself, refusing to spill any information. As their deal is complete, Bo-Katan tells Din to go to a planet named Corvus where he will find a Jedi named Ahsoka Tano. Now we head on to Chapter 12, The Siege. So Mando goes to reunite with Greef Karga and Cara Dune and hopes to have adequate repairs done for his ship. They come to agreement that Din will help them destroy an old Imperial base on the other side of the planet, Navarro. They leave the child in a classroom along with other students, and of course, we're exposed to more cute and reckless moments of Baby Yoda, and it's definitely enjoyable to watch. The group, along with Mando's first bounty on screen, if you remember, back in the first episode in Season 1, is now serving Karga. They all go as a group to go infiltrate the base strategically, with Mando using his jetpack. They later find a recording of Dr. Pershing, back from Season 1 as well, who contacts Moff Gideon about the child and the blood samples used for donating. This confirms Gideon's survival to our heroes. And then we also see a bunch of what looks to be cloned bodies in closed vats. And, then they are ran off by stormtroopers and eventually escape and blow up the base, and eventually they are saved by Mando as he uses the Razor Crest to finish off the in-pursuit TIE fighters. And Din heads off to Corvus to find Ahsoka Tano, while the episode ends with an Imperial officer informing Moff Gideon that a tracking beam was put on the Razor Crest, as he looks prepared to follow with a group of Dark Troopers. We now transition into Chapter 13, titled The Jedi. And to everyone's surprise, we are introduced to Ahsoka right away in this episode. Just a beautiful debut for this character in live action, as she portrays a rogue Jedi hunting prey almost, with her dual white sabers. Rosario Dawson totally nails this performance, and Ahsoka, after killing multiple troopers, confronts Morgan Elsbeth, an Imperial magistrate who rules the city of Caladan. She gives her 1 day to surrender and give her master's location. We then see Din and the child arrive on Corvus as Din tries to find a lead to direct him to Ahsoka. He is brought into the magistrate, who offers a pure Beskar spear in exchange for killing a Jedi nearby. Din takes this information and searches in the forest, and right away we get a quick skirmish between Ahsoka and Din until Din tells her that Bo-Katan sent him. We then see Ahsoka try to connect with the child and informs Mando, as well as all of us, that his name is Grogu. So, who would have thought? I mean, kind of a cute name, right? But she mentions Master Yoda as he's the only one she knows, that is similar to Grogu's kind. Apparently he was in the Jedi Temple before and during the Clone Wars, but was able to escape before the temple was taken by the clones. She senses fear in our little friend as she practices along with Din in testing his Force abilities, and she concludes that she cannot train him due to his bond with Mando. She even mentions what emotions can do to a fully trained Jedi, referencing Anakin, of course, which is just, really cool to watch. Din pleads to Ahsoka that the magistrate sent him to kill her and wants to help her with her problem as long as she trains Grogu. They work together and take over the magistrate's fortress as Ahsoka gets to really show off her lightsaber and Force abilities in live action. Up to this point, I thought this was the greatest episode I'd seen. Soon, Ahsoka confronts the magistrate and duels her with her Beskar spear in a very well choreographed fight, to which Ahsoka bests her and asks for her master's location, the one and only Grand Admiral Thrawn, a big name drop for sure. And when the deal is completed, Ahsoka insists that she can't break Din and Grogu's bond, and she tells him to go to Tython so that Grogu can choose his path on his own. Maybe a Jedi will come to him due to the connection to the Force on the planet. So as we jump into the next episode, we arrive on Chapter 14, The Tragedy. And right away we land on Tython, and Din has seemed to really grown fond of Grogu, and his tone really expresses it. He puts Grogu on the sitting stone, while at the same time we see the Slave One ship flying by. Just an incredible sight, something we've waited to see for a long time. He goes to check it out as we are officially introduced to Boba Fett, who has come for his armor that Din possesses. We also learn that mercenary Fennec Shan has survived from Season 1 and was actually saved by Boba Fett, so now she is in his service. Boba tells Din to exchange the armor, and in turn they will provide safety to him and the child. However, multiple Imperial fleets arrive on Tython as Moff Gideon has the Razor Crest tracked, so quickly Boba Fett and Fennec start killing all of these troopers who are attacking. It was interesting to see how brutal Boba was, even without his armor. And when Fennec starts to get surrounded, Mando does come in to cover for her as his Beskar deflects multiple blasters. But then finally, one of the greatest sequences in all of Star Wars happens. Yes, Boba Fett arrives in his armor and absolutely decimates every stormtrooper in his path. I don't care if this was meant to be fan service, I think we all really enjoy what we saw. Especially him destroying 2 whole fleets trying to escape with his jetpack missile. What's even crazier though, right after this scene, is that Moff Gideon's cruiser just shoots a direct shot and just blows up the Razor Crest instantly. And then the Dark Troopers fly down, successfully stealing the child and fly him all the way back up to the cruiser. Din only is able to recover his Beskar spear that he got from the previous chapter, and Boba Fett reminds him that they are still in his debt until the child is safe. So the group flies to Navarro to get Marshal Cara Dune back for some help. Mando wants to bust Mayfeld out of jail, also from Season 1, since he may have Imperial coordinates to reach Gideon. So this chapter ends with Grogu using the Force on stormtroopers before Moff Gideon puts him to sleep and has him shackled away. And finally, we get to the latest chapter, number 15, titled The Believer. Dune and Mando take Mayfeld into custody and ask him to help locate Gideon's coordinates. Mayfeld directs the group on the Slave One to an Imperial Rhydonium refinery hidden on Morok. Since everyone aboard would draw a red flag, only Din can accompany Mayfeld to sneak into the refinery with disguise. We get to see some awesome combat fighting and survival from Din as he fends off looting pirates to make it to the Imperial base. They are greeted with warmth from the fellow stormtroopers, showing perhaps a new perspective in ways. And Mayfeld tells Din that he can't get the coordinates himself because he believes his former officer in command is in the room. Din goes and takes his helmet off in order to download the coordinates. When Valen Hess comes to address him, Mayfeld actually steps in to save Din from having to answer any of these Imperial questions. So then Hess invites them to drink as they talk about the Empire and how he says it's all growing and growing stronger. Mayfeld shows some serious, like PTSD-like emotion that puts him at odds with the Imperial ideology. And then he just straight up kills Hess swiftly, and the two bust out with Fennec and Dune covering them in stealth as sharpshooters. Boba Fett then picks them up in the Slave One, and we even get to see Boba use a seismic charge, a beautiful callback to the prequels and Jango Fett. It was awesome. Mayfeld then tells Mando, he told him he did what he had to do and that no one saw his face, kind of give him that trust level. And this leads them to letting him go and living a new life of his own. Pretty awesome to see for this character development. I mean, I really think Bill Burr did a great job in this performance. And so this episode ends with Mando sending a message to Moff Gideon, reciting the same lines Gideon did in Chapter 7 from Season 1. This was a perfect lead into what I'm sure is going to be a tremendous finale. So, I mean, really though, this second season of The Mandalorian has been some excellent content, at least in my opinion. I really love the return of Boba Fett. I think this really does him justice. Also seeing Bo-Katan and Ahsoka both in live action literally gave me chills. And, now we know Baby Yoda has a name, and it's Grogu, which is really cool too. And I have grown to love Din Djarin as a character personally. But I will be doing a finale review for tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. It's great to just see the continuous addition of Star Wars content. It makes me want to hold discussions here on my videos. So now it's time to tell me what you guys think of Season 2 so far. What was your favorite moment? Seeing Ahsoka, watching Boba Fett go to work in his armor. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Also, if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. It really helps the channel. Be sure to check the social media out in the description below for my channel. I really appreciate it, guys. I love all the support that you've given me up to this point. So until next time, guys, may the Force be with you.